Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to talk about the mathematical functions. Now, mathematical functions are used to perform the arithmetic operations on the top of some numerical values. Some of the type of mathematical functions are sum, average, maximum, minimum, absolute, round, integer, and mod. If we talk about the sum, it is used to add some numbers in a particular column. Then if we talk about the average, it would be used to find out the average or arithmetic mean. Maximum would return us the largest values in a particular column. Minimum would return us the smallest values in a column. Absolute will make a value positive. Let's say if we are having values as -1, it would make the value as 1. And even if we are having the value as +1, it would make it 1 only. So it would be only used to convert any negative value into a positive number. Then we have the round function, which would be used to round up any number. So let's say if you are having values as 98.33, if you want to round it up to only one digit, it would remove 1 3 over here and it would return the value as 98.3. Then we have the integer. So it would round up any number or round down basically to a nearest integer. So in this case, let's say again, we are having this number 98.33. So it would return the value as 98. Basically, it is rounding a number down to the nearest integer. Then we have mod. So mod would return the remainder after a number is divided by a divisor. So let's go to the Power BI screen and see how can we create some calculated columns and also calculated measures with the help of these functions over there. So we are in our Power BI screen. Now let's say the first mathematical function that we are using is sum. In case of sum, what exactly happens is that we will be getting a single entity. So here we need to create a new measure. Now, for example, if you are doing all the sales and right now we are working with this data where we are having the order ID, category, product name, and sales, quantity, discount, profit, and shipping cost. Now, for example, if you want to find out the total shipping cost that occurred while you shipped all these orders. So in that case, you need to add all the values in this shipping cost and you need to create a measure for that. For that, what I will do is I will go to home, click on the new measure option. I will name it as total shipping cost. So in place of measure 2, I will write total shipping cost over here. Then in the function, I will write the function as sum orders. And in this one, I am trying to sum the shipping cost. So I will write this function and I will just press enter. We have already talked about the syntax of how to use the DEX function. First, you have to write the measure name, column name, or table name just on the left hand side of the equal to sign. After the equal to sign, you have to use this function and then you have to specify the table name and also the column name on the top of which you want to apply some function. So as a result, you will be getting the shipping cost of all the orders and which are belonging to this particular table of orders. So I can go to the report view. Here I'm already having a card. So first I'll remove this card. You can create a card by clicking on card and then you can drag and drop the newly created measure. So here I'm having this total shipping cost, which I created and it is under this orders. So I will drag and drop over here. And as you can see, the total shipping cost occurred with all the orders was 1.35 million. Again, going back to the table view. Now, since I'm having multiple tables, it would be very confusing for me to use these tax functions. So what I'll do is I will remove one table for now. So I can delete it from the model. Now the next one is the average. So let's say if you want to find out the average of the total shipping costs that happened in all the orders. Now to do that, again, I have to create a new measure because again, it is a single entity. So I can click on new measure. In the name, I will write AVG, shipping cost, and the function I will use is average. Then over here in the tables and column name, I will give as orders shipping cost. And then I will close this bracket with the help of parenthesis. You can see this new measure has now been created. This is located over here in the average shipping cost. Now to use it, I can go again in the report view. Again, I will click on card to create a new card, place it over here, and then I can turn this average shipping cost on. If it's not working, then you can even drag and drop it on the top of that card. So the average shipping cost is 26.38. Now we will see what was the maximum shipping cost that happened. So for that, again, I have to go back in the table view, click on the new measure. Or let's say if you don't want to go here in the table view, what you can do is, let me just cancel it, go back to the report view. And since we are only creating a new measure, so you can directly create your measure from over here in the calculations. Click on new measure. I will say max shipping cost. And this way, I don't have to switch between the report view and the table view again. Then I can write the function as max, and the table is orders, and the column name is shipping cost. Close the bracket. Again, to use it, I will click on a card to make a card for me, and I will drag and drop this maximum shipping cost over here. So the maximum shipping cost that I bid was 933.57. Now, what about the minimum value? So for minimum value, what you can do is, again, you have to use the same kind of function, which is basically just replacing it with the minimum function instead of the maximum function. So I will create it quickly. I will go to new measure, give the value as minimum shipping cost, use the function minimum here, and the table name as orders, and the column name as shipping cost. I will create a card, and then I can place this value of minimum shopping cost that I just created. So the minimum shipping cost was 0. So that means we even shipped an item for free maybe. So this is how you can find the aggregation like sum, average, minimum, maximum. Now let's talk about the absolute values, round values, and integers. For that, what I need to do is I can go in the table view. Now over here, first, let's talk about the absolute values. Since I'm not having any negative values over here, so I will just switch to the other tables orders. If I just scroll down, you can see that I'm having few negative numbers over here as well. So I have to scroll down too much. Or let's do one thing. Let's sort this. So I can go in the home option, or I can click over here in the profit option, and I will use sort ascending. This will bring in the negative values first. So you can see right now in my table, I'm having too many negative values also, which are basically the orders that are giving me some loss. Now I want to change these negative values into some positive values. Just for the example purpose, I'm doing this. We won't be doing something like this, like changing the profit into positive. So what I can do over here is I can click on the home option, click on the new column this time, and you'll see it has created a new column for me. I will write ABS profit. That is the absolute value of profit. This is just for the sake of an example. Now in this, I have to use the function of absolute. So I will write ABS, and on the top of profit, I have to apply this, which belongs to the table orders. So I will write orders profit. I will select this, close the bracket, and enter. Now you can see it has converted all these negative values to positive values. So this is how you can use absolute to convert the negative values into positive values. Then the next is the round. Round basically is used to round up any number. Right now you can see in this profit, after decimal, we have 3 values. Let's say I don't want to see 3 values after decimal. I just want to see 2 values after decimal. In that case, what would I do? So what I'm doing currently is I'm just editing this column. So in case I don't have to create a new column again, what I'll do is I will just rename this as round up. The function that I'm using on the top of this profit only is the round function. So instead of absolute, I'm using round over here. Now I want to round this profit, and before parenthesis, you have to specify up to what digits you want to round this value up. So I will say I just want to see up to 2 decimals. So here, after you have written the column name, you can put comma, and then you can put the number of digits. So right now I'm specifying the number of digits as 2. Close the bracket, press enter. You can see it has rounded up the value, and it is only showing me 2 digits after decimal place. So this is how you can use round. Then you can also use integer. So over here, let's say that you want to round down this value. So instead of round, let's say I want to use integer. So again, I will click on new column. I'm giving the name of column integer. So I will write integer over here. The function that I'm using is integer. You can just write int. That is the function used for integer. Then it would ask you, do you want to provide any number? So I don't want to provide any number. But in case if you are creating any measure, so you can provide a number. Right now I'm working on the complete column itself. So I'll be providing the column name. The column that I'm choosing is profit. So I will write orders, profit, close the bracket, enter. And then it would round down the value to the nearest integer, or round up this value basically, because it is greater than 0.5. So now you have seen that how can we use the integer also. But let's say that if you are using this integer to create a new measure, there would be no change in the way that you are creating it. For example, if you are creating a new measure, the only thing that would change is you won't be providing the column name over there. because then you will be focusing on a single value because it wants a number which it can just turn to integer. So this was the way in which you can use the mathematical functions. In the next session, we'll be talking about the statistical functions in text. Thank you.